guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video and continuing on with the Muppets Marathon. And this time, gonna be reviewing Muppets Take Manhattan. And, you know, I gotta say, this one probably would have to be one of the Muppets' one of the best Muppet films, you know? I mean, it's not just the only one. We, of course, have the Muppet Movie, The Great Muppet Caper, and all the others. But this one, because it has good story to it, and the interesting thing is that there are no break the fourth wall bits, if you get what I'm saying. There's no break the fourth wall in it, you know, because of course with the Muppets, they tried to take their show out to, you know, to New York and have it be on Broadway and such, but nobody will do it. And so, of course, you know, and it has some great songs to it, of course, from Together Again, you know, You Can't Take No for an Answer, and Saying Goodbye, you know. And of course, you know, in the film, of course, we of course then come to Petey's restaurants, and there's Pete, of course, his daughter Jenny, Rizzo is there, of course, as one of the employees, and so, what else? Oh, yeah. Because the Muppets, they decide to go on their separate ways until they come back together, until Kermit finally gets his show out, you know, sells his show or something like that. And even with that song, Saying Goodbye, it's kind of like a sad moment, I guess, obviously. And, of course, Kermit, he's, like, roaming around at night. He makes his way up, I think, to the Empire State Building, yeah. And, like, he just shouts and such, like, you know, I'm gonna get everybody back together, I'm gonna get the show on Broadway, etc. And yet Miss Piggy, she comes back to New York, apparently. I mean, you know, it's Miss Piggy, what can you expect? She does leave at first, but then she comes back. I mean, it shows this Miss Piggy truly loves Kermit, so, you know. But, of course, she becomes very jealous of him and Jenny, so, you know. And also, like, those times where Kermit receives letters from the gang, you know, like, with Fozzie, he's in, like, a cave with other bears. Gonzo, he's performing at some, like, I forget the term for it, but, you know, if you've seen the movie, I'm sure you know what I mean. Of course, the Electric Mayhem, they're in Pittsburgh, like, doing Irish or something, I can't remember. Scooter, he works in a movie theater. Ralph, he's works at, like, some pet hotel, like dog hotel or something. I can't remember the term for it. What else? Okay, well, you know, that's all of them. And also, yeah, that's all of them. What else? Oh yeah, and that sequence, Piggy chasing down that guy who stole her purse. She's on roller skates. And also, like, and that little fight between her and Kermit, you know, and the huggies, you know. And, of course, can't ignore this, the Muppet Babies, and that song, Mama, Da-Da, Woo-Woo, Chihuahua. Oh, God. And yet, funny thing is, though, months later, after the release of Muppets Take Manhattan, the Muppet Baby series, you know, the animated, that would come out, you know. It's crazy. And of course, like, okay, and then, of course, Kermit actually meets up with somebody, like, goes and meets with, like, a producer, I forget his name and such, but the son of this producer, and, you know, wants to have a show be on Broadway and such, you know, and, also, because, you know, it seems, and the show's been sold, you know, like, it's going to be on stage / Broadway, and yet, literally, after Kermit hangs up on the phone, and with Jenny and Piggy, and he's making his way back to Petey's, he literally gets hit by a taxi. Well, I know it's a taxi, I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. And that pretty much kind of screws things up, kinda. And that's when, like, you know, Jenny, Piggy, and the son of this, you know, stage producer, you know, as I said, they go searching for Kermit while Pete sends out letters to the rest of the Muppet gang. And, of course, Kermit's in the hospital, and, like, he's kind of unconscious, like, has no memory and such. and now like he's with these three frogs. They're selling Ocean Breeze, like this kind of soap, you know. And this kind of cool and funny like montage where the Muppets and, you know, they're looking for Kermit and such, and pretty good music playing. And of course, you know, they eventually find Kermit. He ends up in Petey's, you know. And of course, trying to get Kermit to remember who he is, you know. You know, and actually, because, you know, as Piggy explains, yet, like, you are to marry me, you want to marry me, and etc. Like, Kermit, he, you know, because, of course, he can't remember, and you know, it's like, you know, marry a pig, it's like, you know, cancel the show, hi-ya! Hits him, he lands on a chair, and it comes back to him, you know, memories and such. And, of course, you know, Kermit and the rest, they go on the stage, the show goes on, and, of course, another great song, Somebody's Getting Married, and, of course, the big wedding and such, you know, and they end blah, 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 blah. We actually see the Sesame Street Muppet Gang, of course, and of course, obviously, Kermit would invite them to his wedding, of course. Why not? I don't see why not. And of course, they get married and such, you know, and oh yeah, even I noticed like even Traveling Matt. If you guys remember Fraggle Rock, Traveling Matt makes an appearance in there. He's sitting along with the bears at the very front row. I remember seeing Uncle Deadly in there as well, so, you know. But anyways, so, of course, they get married and such, and yet Kermit sings, you know, one last rendition of, you know, what better place could anyone be, you know, hand in hand with a friend. And of course, they kiss and such, and shows the end, the credits roll, you know. And there are, a few things I forgot to mention as well, like that one part where Kermit disguises himself as some, like, producer or something, and he's at this restaurant, you know. He takes down a drawing portrait of Liza Minnelli and puts the drawing of himself on there that Jenny drew. And the rats, they pretend to, like, whisper, like, hey, did you hear this music producer? And eventually they start getting hungry, they pop out, and they freak out the people. It's just, oh, God. And also, like, what else? Like, yeah, I think I remember Jim Henson made a cameo in there. He was a coachman, you know, having, you know, while Kermit and Piggy were riding down, you know, and as Statler and Waldorf passed by, you know, hey, Waldorf, look, it's a frog and a pig, you know. Yeah, but anyway, so, the Muppets Take Manhattan. I think it's good. I think it's fantastic. I mean, one of their best, you know, but they've had other movies that have been great, of course, from the first Muppet movie, of course, Muppet Christmas Carol, Great Muppet Caper, you get the idea. And you guys let me know what you think of Muppets Take Manhattan, because again, for me, I like it, I love it, it's really good, and one of their bests alongside, as I just said. And I give this, I want to say, you know, I give it, fingers, yeah, 8 out of 10 stars. 8 out of 10 stars for Muppets Take Manhattan. It's fantastic and one of their few best ones. And I remember correctly, it was one of the last Muppet films. It was the last Muppet film that Jim Henson had worked on. That, along with, like, say, Follow That Bird, Labyrinth, which he directed, and there were a couple others that he directed as well, that he worked on, etc., you know, so you get the idea. But anyway, so again, try to do the fingers. 8 out of 10 stars for Muppets Take Manhattan. I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. The Muppet Marathon is continuing. Stay tuned and keep looking forward. So again, hope you enjoyed this review video, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review video. Take care, and peace out.